In this segment of Lawyer Reacts, we continue our analysis of Elle Woods becoming legally blonde.
I'm Elle Woods, Miss Bonafonte's attorney.
No, don't do it. All right, so we talked about character and fitness, but also just you can't pretend to be an attorney if you're not an attorney, if you don't have a license to practice law, okay? That is the unauthorized practice of law. Not only can it result in sanctions, but also jail time, right? There are bad things that happen when you pretend to be a lawyer and you're not. So even though Elle is heroic in what she's doing right now, she's standing up for her friend, she's trying to help, this is actually very bad, and we don't want to pretend to be attorneys when we're not yet.
I'm here to discuss the legal situation at hand.
Come again?
Do you understand what subject matter jurisdiction is?
No.
I didn't think so. Well, due to habeas corpus, you and Miss Bonafonte had a common law marriage, which heretofore entitles her to
The exact definition of habeas corpus is a writ requiring a person under arrest to be brought before a judge or into court, especially to secure the person's release unless lawful grounds are shown for their detention. So not exactly applicable to the situation, but obviously the point is to use legal mumbo jumbo to get what you want, which is a tactic that kind of works.
It is legally referred to as equitable division of the assets.
Come again?
Due to the fact that you've retained this residence, Miss Bonafonte is entitled to full canine property ownership, and we'll be enforcing said ownership right now.
Huh?
And you also have to be a little bit careful if the other side doesn't have an attorney. So let's pretend Elle actually was an attorney, okay? If the other side doesn't also have an attorney, you have to be careful in that they don't think you're giving them legal advice. I've had attorneys do that, where they even try to advise my client through their client somehow. And that can result in bad things as well.
I'm taking the dog, dumbass.
And animals are considered property. So in this case, we had Elle representing herself to be an attorney when she's not. And then she deprived someone, based on the representation, of something that apparently they own. Now, I don't know the circumstances, right? I don't know if baby belongs to mom or if it's joint property. I don't know if they need to have an agreement for shared custody, but obviously as far as how this could blow back on Elle as well as mama to puppy, they did in fact take something by essentially lying to him. Now, for purposes of the movie, he's a jerk and it's her dog, so, they got the dog back, right?
I have to tell you the real reason I came here. Professor Callahan says we really, really need your alibi.
All right, so Elle came in an impromptu visit to the jail. She's with Brooke Taylor. So this is an instance when the client needs to reveal a bad fact. Clients have a tendency to hold back. They don't tell the attorney everything because they're like, if I don't tell the attorney, then it can't come back to bite me in the ass, right? No. Actually, it's the opposite. And what I tell clients, I go, you have confidentiality. You gotta tell me everything so that I don't get blindsided by the other side when they find out.
Whatever it is, Brooke, it could save you.
No, that's just it. It would ruin me.
How?
So Brooke goes on to admit that she was getting liposuction at the time of the murder, so she has a great alibi, but obviously that would ruin her credibility, it would ruin her career as a celebrity, as an influencer, so she goes, I just can't say it. We have to win the case some other way.
Did you ever take Mrs. Wyndham on a date?
Yes.
Where?
A restaurant in Concord where no one could recognize us.
And how long have you been sleeping with Mrs. Wyndham?
3 months.
And your boyfriend's name is?
Chuck.
Right.
So when it comes to conducting a trial, doing examinations or cross-examinations, getting the witness into kind of just answering questions casually, they're not in a defensive kind of position where they're anticipating some kind of gotcha moment, will get them to hopefully volunteer truthful information, which is what happened in this instance.
All people see when they look at me is blonde hair and big boobs. No one's ever gonna take me seriously.
So Elle's super upset the night before. Her professor was feeling her up and being super creepy, and now she is questioning everything. And she is thinking about other people's opinions. What have people been saying to her? And everything's really just gotten to her, and she goes, I'm a fraud. Imposter syndrome is a very common thing, and I think most of us experience it at least once in our lifetimes, where we just feel like even though we do a certain job, we have a certain title, whatever it is, that we are an imposter for some reason, like we don't deserve it, or we're not smart enough, or we don't have enough credentials, whatever it is, it's something in our minds where we think that we are an imposter. And I think she's having that a little bit right here.
School don't. Warner doesn't. I don't even think my own parents take me seriously. I just felt like, for the first time, that someone expected me to do something more with my life than just become a Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah, someone did. She did. She expected a lot more for herself, and then she showed herself that she was able to do all those things, including get a very high score on a difficult LSAT exam. She believed in herself, and she raised the bar for what she wanted for her life. And in everything that we've seen thus far, she was able to accomplish all of her goals.
Then I was just kidding myself. Callahan never saw me as a lawyer. He just saw me as a piece of ass. Just like everybody else. Turns out I am a joke.
Oh, you're not a joke.
If you're going to let one stupid prick ruin your life, you're not the girl I thought you were.
Not only is there no proof in this case, but there's a complete lack of mens rea.
Now, Elle's won the confidence of her client, okay? And then because there's an overseeing attorney, Elle is taking lead on the case now. Obviously, Elle is a little timid initially doing this, as anyone would be, and including for such a big trial. A lot of times we will have much smaller trials. There might be a few people in the back of the courtroom, but this is definitely a full house.
Which by definition tells us that there can be no crime without a vicious will.
I am aware of the meaning of mens rea. What I'm unaware of is why you're giving me a vocabulary lesson when you should be questioning your witness.
Judges will say that. They will be like that, and worse. So Elle goes on, and she kind of stumbles through a few questions. The one thing that I kind of noted here is that she didn't seem to have her questions prepared in advance. She was freestyling them, so to speak. So more experienced trial lawyers will absolutely do this technique where they will just have kind of a general outline of what they need to question, where they want to go, but they don't have every single question written out. That's the kind of, sense that I'm getting here. And so Elle's just kind of trying to figure out where she's going. She repeats a question about the hair. You got home and you washed your hair, and then something clicks.
Got a latte, went to the gym, got a perm, and came home.
Where you got in the shower?
I believe the witness has made it clear that she was in the shower.
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Wyndham, had you ever got...
So even here, you see a little change in her, she put down the papers. She doesn't need those anymore. Her body posture has changed. She's emulating confidence. And that's always really good because everything that the attorney does, what they wear, what they say, is sending messages of believability to the jury. The jury is very much watching you as the attorney as much as they are watching the witnesses.
How would you feel if your father married someone who was your age?
You, however, had time to hide the gun, didn't you, Chutney? After you shot your father.
I didn't mean to shoot him. I thought it was you walking through the door.
And there we go.
Elle. I just wanted to say that you were so brilliant in there, and that I was wrong. And you are the girl for me.
Oh.
Really?
Yes. Pooh Bear, I love you.
Oh, Warner. I've waited so long to hear you say that. But if I'm going to be a partner in a law firm by the time I'm 30, I need a boyfriend who's not such a complete bonehead.
Yep. And so in this moment, we see that she has fully grown up and she just has her sights set on something else. And I think that's great. You should never be just fully invested in a relationship or trying to make it work with someone who obviously does not see your value. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this lawyer reacts, please be sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. And I will definitely have more lawyer reacts videos for you very soon. Don't forget to come say hi on social media. I'm definitely the most active on Instagram, and it's always amazing to meet you guys. And if you're in the mood for some dark pop music, just search Miss Krystle on all music platforms and you can check out a little of what I'm up to. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm top music attorney, Miss Krystle. Bye guys.